Okay, good team win yesterday. I thought we played well in all three phases. We ran the ball effectively, had some nice play actions. We flipped the field position in the return game, and defensively, other than the one play, I thought we played really well.
You had talked about David Morgan blocking helping you last week, and just how much did it help just having David back in the blocking?
He played about 20 plays. I mean, he was a little rusty still, but I mean, it's always nice to get another guy in there and help some of that.
With having so many different voices throughout the week, you mentioned with helping Kevin in his first time calling plays. Did Todd Downing play a big role in that? Just given his experience, last year, not too long ago.
I think all of the guys kind of communicated well all week. All the offensive coaches. So. No, I don't think it was any more than anybody else.
Was getting the play action going just a matter of running the ball so effectively earlier, or was there any deviation from what you had done previously?
What do you mean? Deviation?
Was there anything different about the way you approached play action situations, or did it work so well because you ran the ball so well?
Yeah, I mean, it helps when you run the football, and they were crowding the line of scrimmage, so that helped a little bit, and the touchdown to Diggs, the corner had bad eyes. He was looking inside at the runner and the quarterback, and so when you catch guys doing that, they take advantage of it.
Mike, before the change of OC, you were preaching, let's get back offensively to something simpler. Let's pare it down, do what we do best, let the players play. And to see that put in motion yesterday, was that the biggest key, the biggest difference, do you think? Letting them do it and just go out and play?
Well, I think they were confident going into the ball game. I don't think it's really anything different. We pared some things down, but we ran like one play 10 times, but with 10 different variations. So sometimes that's what it is too. You format it differently, and you give them a different look so they can't key on one thing, but you're basically running the same play.
And Mike Sherrill's had a history of some long punt returns, but how much with him is just the fact that he's going to secure the ball and give it back to the offense when you send him out there? Yeah,
it's important all the time, and he's done a really good job with that. I think since I've been here, there's been one fumble or something. But we kind of challenged him a little bit this last week of being more aggressive. In Seattle, the ball bounced one time. There was another time when I thought he could have returned it that he fair caught. So, and then this time he was much better, and I thought we blocked better on the rest of the edges too.
And Mike, you talked about getting the guys in here this morning to watch this tape instead of a normal Victory Monday. What's going to be the important factors for you to make sure that this keeps rolling moving forward?
Well, the offense or just in general?
Just the offense.
Well, I think I thought it was important that they come in and see the tape, to see what they're capable of doing. Have a good feeling about where they're at and hopefully where we go. But we're gonna have to go out and do it again. Detroit will be harder to run against than Miami will.
When you have a back like Dalvin Cook, how much of an emphasis is there and running on some of those like second and longs? I think they were like second and 19, second and 20.
Yeah, he got about 10 on them and made it 3rd and 10. They gave some good looks to run the ball in. Right on some of those down distances, and when you do, you have an opportunity to hit some of those things. So, but when Dalvin gets in open space, and sometimes not even open space, he makes a lot of players miss. He's got great feet, great acceleration, catches the ball well, and really his vision is outstanding. So, all those things. There was a couple other runs in there I thought he was going to bust. He was real close to. So, yeah, we want to try and get him the ball a lot.
Like we always see that with Adrian, when the quarterback would be under center and he'd come out of the backfield with a full head of steam. When Kirk is under center, does Dalvin have any benefit from that when he's able to hit the line at full speed?
I really think that Dalvin can run from the gun or from under center. I think it just some plays are a little bit better under center than they are from the gun, but he can really do both really well.
Like you mentioned a few times this year how much you like the offensive line's character, kind of attitude. Does that kind of thing you think have more impact on success at that position group than maybe others? Or is that just more important to have that in that position group?
Well, it's a little bit of a mindset, you know. It's I don't know if you go back and look at last year. You know, we ran the ball a lot, but we had a mindset that you know we're going to be a physical football team, a team that doesn't beat yourself, smart, and play good defense and good on special teams. And I thought we did that yesterday. You know, pretty good.
Delvin talked about some of the size of the holes that he was running through yesterday. I think you even mentioned the offensive line when you talked about coming in and watching the tape. What did you see with the offensive line that maybe different or?
Well, I mean, a lot of the runs were similar runs that we've had in the past. They just they had a wide defensive end, so that was part of it. Their linebackers were fast downhill, sometimes out of their gaps, so that gave us some opportunities on some of those things, and we were able to cut them off and knock guys off to the backside. And I thought we did a good job of getting to the second level. You know, the double teams were good, but you know, I'm not trying to discredit how they play defense or anything like that, but they play a little different style up front. That if you can do that, you can get some creases in there.
Mackenzie talked about his maturity both on and off the field since coming in. How much has that helped him kind of take the next step this week?
A lot. He was pretty immature when he first got here, so that didn't take long. But he's grown up a lot. He spends a lot of time studying now. A lot of time with Terrence and George and Jerry, and really he's been playing really well.
He seems to love the opportunities he gets to blitz. How have you seen that?
We should. He doesn't get blocked. Somebody told me he set a record or something, but heck, if you don't get blocked, that was he should have an asterisk by that name.
Building on that, your D-line does.
Pardon me?
Your D-line does seem to be freeing up the blitzers to make it through cleanly, whether it's him, whether it's a safety, whether it's a bar. Just how is that really gelled together?
Yeah, well, they pay attention to the defensive line pretty good. You know, and we have smart players on defense, and so typically, you know, when we can show one blitz and run another, or vice versa, you know, different things, or you know, there's certain things we're trying to do in the blitz package that try to affect the offense.
Mike, how much have you had to change up the blitz packages throughout the season just to make sure that you're not getting predictable?
A little bit. I mean, we've as the season's gone on, we've changed a few up. There was a couple, maybe 4 or 5 yesterday that we hadn't really shown much of. So that you know, it's you know, part of the game plan thing. Just seeing what we feel like we can do and how we can attack certain players, and you know, and then you know, sometimes it's just we're gonna do this blitz so that we can get you know some of these chips off the defensive ends.
When you were looking for another receiver early on in the season, was specifically a deep vertical threat, stretch the field type guy what you wanted, or was it just a matter of the guys that you had here and getting a guy like Aldrick Robinson just kind of presented it that way?
Well, Kirk knew Aldrick, and so that was part of it. But you know, we did feel like we needed a little bit more vertical threat, so that was part of it. But I mean, if it would have been you know somebody a little slower, we probably would have liked them too. I mean, you know, it just worked out the right way.
When you have a new play caller in week 15 like you did yesterday, is there any benefit in terms of that basically being unscouted, the opponents not knowing his tendencies as a play caller?
Yeah, but you know, Ben, it's you know really hard to change everything you do in 4 days. So you know, I'm sure that they had a decent idea on a lot of the things. Now we ran some plays that they probably hadn't seen before, but you know, I don't think we went like 100 degrees the other way.
Mike, does Aldrick catch people off guard? I mean, eyes are they're looking at the digs, they're looking at the They just lose track of them or?
Well, I don't think they lose track of them. I think somebody's assigned to them most of the time. They just, we quick counted them there on that one, and, they were having a little bit of a hard time getting lined up on some of those things, and so, I'm trying to think what the coverage was exactly, but, they're gonna pay extra attention to the other two guys.
You ever had a guy that had the touchdown to catch ratio as high as his is?
Yeah, not that I can think of. Hope he keeps getting them.
Time for two more. You've obviously talked about Dalvin's athleticism, but what do you think when you watch moves like that spin move he had yesterday and stuff, watch it back on tape?
That was a great run. Not so much the spin, but the three other guys he made miss after was pretty good too. So he's an unbelievable talented guy, and the more that he can continue to have games like this, the better we'll be as a football team.
What does it mean to get so many people involved? You mentioned Morgan had 23 snaps, Conklin 23, CJ Ham 18. Did that make a difference yesterday?
We've been trying to do that a little bit. Some of it, we've been doing it as defensively as well. Some of the defensive lineman snaps are down. Trying to get them fresh in the fourth quarter. The more pieces you can put in there and maybe run similar things, I think it's good, because they're scouting, when Rudolph's in, when Treadwell's in, or opposed to Robinson, or having guys that are versatile that can do a lot of things is important.